Hello, I'm Alden Thornton, and today we're going to be covering the features and benefits of the Nortec 392 Superfish. All right, first we're going to start out in the anchor locker and show you the incorporation of a windlass to help the fisherman, whether he's offshore fishing, bottom fishing, or he's going to the beach with his family. Freshwater washdown right in here, located in here. We got a auxiliary switch to operate the windlass with a giant safety pin to make sure we don't ever have any trouble with anchor coming loose. Plenty long anchor rod and chain in there, and a really great anchor that deploys and holds really well. Now we're going to take a peek at the life raft storage compartment in the very front of the boat, where it's easily accessible in case you have any bad situation. All the locker lids on the 392 Superfish have this giant gutter on there with an overboard drainage system. Drainage system on the starboard side, drainage system on the port side. It washes right out these giant holes hooked to giant plumbing concealed in the bottom of the deck. They have stainless steel gas shocks, continuous stainless steel riveted hinges, and 100% stainless steel Gemlux hardware. All right, now we're going to take a peek in the giant forward fish box storage compartment. Holds up to 1,300 pounds of ice and hopefully any kind of great catches that you might have. We have a separate pump to evacuate any melted ice or fish blood or anything out of there. One pump for this entire box. A huge lid to get giant fish in, 200-pound yellowfin fit, no problem. 1,300 pounds of ice. We use a super monster stainless steel gas shock. Make sure that when everybody's excited at holding on to the lid in the rough sea, there's no way they can tear that thing loose. It's actually a 900-pound gas shock, but it's minimally charged to 100 pounds, special made just for us for this giant box. We're going to talk about the extended sun lounge that we have. Nice room for a couple ladies to lay out, or a couple kids to ride on the front. We got a great drink holder, side handrails. We got an awesome armrest for the ladies to chill out on the front right up here. The kids play up here and hang out. That's just a great entertaining area of the 392 Superfish when you use it for family function. Here we're looking at the forward fishing rod storage locker. Giant gutters around the side, also connected into the floor drain system that goes overboard. Continuous stainless steel hinge, stainless steel gas spring, and all Gemlux hardware with a huge gasket. Perfect for fishing rods on the way from a tournament, away from town, or for all your beach going goods. Now we're going to move on to the battery storage compartment. So we're going to access the batteries and show you some of the below deck rigging on the port side of the boat. We have 2 engine batteries and 2 house batteries per side in the 392 with a quad engine setup. Here we have the Mercury trim tab pump. We have the Mercury Verado steering pump and the freshwater storage tank, 30-gallon capacity. We're going to move now from the battery compartment back to the large pelagic fish storage box. The giant compartment here, 200-pound wahoo will fit in here. Now we're moving to the rear fish box storage compartment. Giant 19-inch by 48-inch door, continuous compression gasket around the whole lid, big giant gutter. You can throw your fenders in here. It's got a stainless steel continuous hinge and a stainless steel gas spring, again with the Gemlux stainless steel hardware and the below the deck pipe floor drain system. Now we're going to check out the rear bucket holder storage locker. We configured this locker for 2 5-gallon buckets. We also have the fish box evacuation pump, easily serviceable right here in the middle of this box. Now we're going to look in the bilge of the 392 Superfish and see how we control the live wells and all the plumbing in the boat. Now we're taking a peek at the live well management system. We have these huge sea chests that provide a continuous flow of water to our live well pumps that feed our 65-gallon live wells, our built-in tuna tubes. We have our bilge pumps in here, 3 2,000-gallon bilge pumps. Very accessible Raycor filters for Mercury Marine. Our fuel selector valves, we're able to, even with 4 motors and 3 gas tanks, we can run any motor, any tank, anytime. So you have access to all the fuel with any motor all the time. The saltwater washdown pumps also get water out of the sea chest system way down at the bottom of the boat, so you never have any starvation for water. And there's 2 separate saltwater washdown systems, one on the starboard side, one on the port side. The brand new tackle center, a little bit of space savings in the cockpit. We have the faucet with fresh water and salt water right here. You got the pull-out frigid rigid cooler right here for easy access. Cold beer, whatnot you might need to have in there. We got your tackle storage in here. Somebody's got their flares in here and some dot lines. Different tackle storage here. More tackle storage here. Then we'll go around to the starboard side. We'll get some more tackle storage. We got some really neat shelves right here. The ladies seem to like putting their cell phones here and their bags in here. They always have stuff in here. 99% of the time there's stuff in here. The anglers do get a little bit of storage. They get all these Plano boxes. There's 6 Plano boxes on this side and 6 on the other side. Here we are back at the shop, and we're going to go over some of the finer details of the console and the helm area of the 392 Superfish. Here we can see the Garmin 7616s, really nice layout for a dual screen application. A lot of times we put the chart plotter on the port side and the bottom machine on the starboard side. Added this feature here in 2018. All the ladies like to put their cell phone here, so they Bluetooth to the Fusion stereo remote right there. They put their sunglasses under here. It just seems to be a real nice addition. This dash is laid out with 2 7616 Garmins, really ample viewing area. We have the switch control with the C-zone right here. We're able to switch pretty easily right to the navigation chart. You can switch to the sonar. And you got all kind of combinations that you can put in here too. Any kind of combination that you like to put in here. There's the chart and the radar on there, so you can watch that and then watch the sonar on the other machine. Here we have the Mercury Vessel View 703. It monitors all the engine functions. We also were able to import the data to the Garmin for the engine monitoring. The information comes through the Vessel View, but that's interesting to see. It's really neat to see those type piece of information on there. Here we have the stereo remote right here, trim tab controls right here, windlass control here, DTS control by Mercury Marine for the quad Mercury Verado 350 horsepower engines. Remote start buttons. We put the key switches inside the console so they don't get wet and don't mess up. Also, we got dual cup holders both sides, port side and the starboard side, so we got 4 drink holders right there. Also with this tackle center, we got all kind of new cockpit space, 18 inches more cockpit space. We'll go ahead and roll this out of the way. And so you can see when you're fishing, the giant cockpit that we have right here, it's competitive with boats much, much bigger in the class. We think that's an awesome improvement to have in the 392. Another added feature for 2018 is a rear live well seat, lounge seat for the party days instead of the fishing days, or even for the fishing days. So you're able to hang out here, sit here, 3, 4, 5 across if the kids are riding, having a great time headed to the sandbar, or even heading offshore. When you want to get down to business, 2 65-gallon live wells right under here. The seats are stored on the dock, and away we go. We also have our built-in tuna tubes with the Gemlux friction hinges on them. There you go. Now we've removed one of the seat backs to show you some more about the fishing part of the boat and the built-in rod rack and the Mercury rigging in the back of the boat. 12 rod holders here for your transportation while you're running out to the fishing grounds or trailering the boat to the local boat ramp. The transom is a closed transom where we don't have any engine mounting bolts showing. Awesome footrest to hold you in the seat right nice and tight if you're in rough weather. Mercury tilt helm. This boat has the option of the air conditioning on board. So it's dash air conditioning and cabin air conditioning on this boat. It's an awesome place to store your cell phone or your sunglasses here on this pouch right here. VHF location, you can either do one here or you can do one on each side. Then we have a little storage location here. Here we are behind the dash, and that's one of the prideful things of our business here. We like to make sure that, first off, that it's put together where you don't have to touch it again. But second off, if you did have to, that it's easily accessible. Every single thing's labeled. This is a NEMA bus right here. Every little T is labeled, and everyone's screwed down, and everyone has a tie wrap on it. So hopefully you don't ever have to work on it, but if you did, everything's labeled. Here's all the C-Zone 4 C-Zone modules across here. Every single circuit's labeled properly on here. And here's your circuit breaker panel here, your key switches out of their weather so they don't get messed up from being out in the salt. We like to keep this behind this zipper panel where it's super easy to access, super dry. We got a nice helm seat that holds you nice and tight in here, 2 people or 2.5 or 3 people. Nice and tight standing up when you're running in rough sea conditions. If you're cruising, we got a nice sit-down seat, drop-down bolster. Talk about the Gemlux Outriggers. Super easy. You just twist them down, roll the outrigger out. This is a 22-foot carbon fiber outrigger pole by Gemlux. You lock it in place right here, and then you crank it up. Nobody has to get on the gunnel of the boat or anything, rocking in an unstable sea state. And then to put it back, you just rotate it back right back in. You just pull it right back around and lock it into place. And nobody got on the gunnel, and everybody's safe for all kind of sea states. So that's a really awesome improvement for the outrigger situation on the center console fishing boat. Thank you, Gemlux. Just wanted to talk to you about this windshield in this cockpit area with the super quiet Mercury supercharged Verado engines. Here we have this windshield, super quiet. Everybody's protected from the wind, 3 people wide. You're standing here in no wind. Everybody can have a normal conversation, even running 50 miles an hour in the ocean. It's a super strong method for construction in the back of the boat. Some of the strength of this 392 Nortec. Here's the core sample where the transducer goes. Obviously that's close to almost 1 inch thick, maybe a little better than 1 inch thick. If we look real close right in here, we can see the carbon fiber and Kevlar weave. That carbon fiber Kevlar weave resists stretching, helps our boat ride stiffer through rough sea conditions. Here we are at the gas fill on the port side of the boat. We have 3 tank chambers on this 392 Superfish, but we included gas fills on the port side and the starboard side for each tank, making it super easy no matter where you dock or where you pull up to the gas station to put fuel in the boat. So you have either side you can put the fuel in, and also want to remind you about the fuel selector valve in the Bilge. Any motor, any tank, anytime. We've gotten to see a lot of the really cool features of the 392 Superfish. Now we're going to show you some of the business end of it with this giant 350 horsepower Mercury Verado. Here it's running, 350 horsepower. Actually, all motors are running. So we have 1,400 horsepower running during this shot right now. So supercharged 350 horsepower Mercury Verado. We sure appreciate you tagging along for the Nortec feature and benefit session on the 392 Superfish, and look forward to seeing you on the water.